A mere few days after we talked about the PWHL heading to Quebec City, a game between the Montreal Victoire and the Ottawa Charge, the PWHL announced that they eye two expansion teams for 2025, which is amazing. The growth of the game is beautiful. We talked about it a few weeks ago, Daph, about how interesting it will be to see where they choose to go. What to me is amazing is that the PWHL have more than 20 markets that they consider for the expansion. Amazing, 20 markets.
It's huge. It's huge. And I mean, do you feel like, because we're gonna just address the situation here, could Quebec, and we talked about it, but could Quebec be a good market? I feel like it could be.
Really? Quebec City. Well, yeah, we talked about it 2 weeks
I
ago.
would like to revive the rivalry between Montreal
Yeah.
and Quebec.
I feel like the right strategy is to expand in market you're not touching yet. I feel like I am more than open to be wrong on this. I feel like going to Calgary and maybe Chicago, maybe Pittsburgh are good strategies. Are they going west? Right now, there is a team in Minnesota, which is actually more Midwest than anything. Like it's in the
Yeah.
middle of the continent, but it's West. It would be a Western Conference team if there was a Western Conference. So I feel like I hate to say this. I hate to say this. Of course, I want them as many professional sports team in my home province as I can. I feel like this is not the right strategy, though.
Maybe not now. And I can understand why. And I was, they've talked about it for to the president of Gestev, which is going to be running the game in the Centre Vidéotron in January. And he basically said that this gonna serve as, like to evaluate if people have interest in having a concession there, a franchise there.
Yeah.
But it's one game, and I would love to see it, being at full capacity, but it's one game. You have to think about a 30 game season. Are people gonna show up? I hope so, but as you said, like maybe not now, or maybe when the league's gonna grow a little bit. There were two potential candidates in Detroit and Pittsburgh, which were already where the PWHL played their neutral games last season. And they were also looking at Chicago, Denver, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. And I was like, oh, Detroit. Detroit is interesting. Chicago is interesting. And I would love maybe Seattle. We talked about Vancouver, but Seattle maybe could be a good option when we talk about developing in the US. Now now that they have the Kraken, maybe they have more hockey fans down there, and it can bring, because we're really east right now. We could develop elsewhere, maybe having people from the west side, maybe people from Vancouver also getting down to Seattle to see some games. I don't know. Could be interesting.
What will be interesting to see for me is how long before they go to a non-traditional market. The NHL is filled with non-traditional market now in the Sun Belt, in Southern California, of course, now in Nevada, in Texas. So what will be the first non-traditional market? I think California will be. I feel like just because of the amount of players that are there, the amount of people that are there, the untapped potential, will it be right away? Will it be down the line? I can't wait to see. This will be interesting when they go to a non-traditional market.
But do you feel that they need to have already? I feel like NHL has got to be in this city before the PW. I'm
Oh,
sorry, but I'm like,
wow. That is interesting
I
because
don't
that is a
know.
question that I have. Do you try and secure other markets? Do you try and secure smaller markets, or do you go all in only the big markets? I don't know. That is very interesting.
I don't, and like I'm going to say this with a little pincette because I don't want to get backlash from this. And I really like women's sport and the hype that they are getting right now. But for me, they need to get more popular. It needs to get more popular as a league to implant in a city. Yeah. And it could go for the other expansion process maybe. And I was surprised. Were you surprised that it was gonna get expanded as soon as 25, 26? Me too. I thought it was the 2026 and 2027 season.
I thought they were going to wait to see the result of this year.
Yeah, especially in New York and Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is why it's telling me like you cannot implant a team in a non-explored or non-developed hockey market right now.
That's interesting. Very interesting. Looking forward to this. And you know what? Looking forward to be proven wrong and having a team in Quebec City, baby. Imagine beautiful Videotron Center filled for women's hockey. Oh, yes, sign me on this, please. Will it happen? Won't it happen? Let's get to our little game.